Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of
The cool down.
Cool
Hey,
down. What's happening, guys? What's happening?
hey,
Good to be
love
back.
it,
Good to
love
be
it.
back.
Selo, you've got
Uh,
that wax now. I think you're taking full ownership of the cool down intro there. Well, congratulations, and the post sort of cool down there by Wonga and Nick, looking very good, gentlemen, sounding very good. Also in the house, in case you're joining us for the first time, in the top right hand corner, aka my left hand, right hand. I'm not too sure between my left and right, but we've got the Diginator, the academy coach of Fresh Legs over there. In the bottom corner, we've got financial. What do we call him? The financial guru, the
Guru,
financial.
financial
Unfortunately,
guru,
financial
financial
guru
guru.
works.
I'm I'm
Yeah,
I'm 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 I'm, I'm ripping my cousin's brand today. I'm wearing my cousin's brand. Gotta rip family. You know what I mean?
you want to say the name of the brand if you're gonna rep it?
Oh,
You got to say the name.
force.
So
You're a
our financial
force.
guru, Selot Lolokale, unfortunately a Man United fan, and then of course UEFA, a licensed coach, and also many other things. He's got a football XP Arena coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, and also Nick Sothard, Newcastle fan, the most
What's
comprehensive Newcastle news you get across the country. Nick, you want to say hello?
what's happening, guys? Good to be back. Claudio,
Good,
get
good,
the
good.
name right. XP Arena.
What did I say?
This is EXP. We had that
That's
chat.
why.
Though. We had that chat.
No, but I'm getting you to get it to say it right. You know, if I said it right, you wouldn't have corrected me, and I'm giving you more
Fair enough.
airtime on the show. You see, so
That's
that's how
it.
it is.
That's it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good to be back on the show. Speak about the Premier League. Well, amongst other things, I'm just very excited for tonight because Newcastle United are back in action. 3 points loading.
3 points. Oh, that's very confident. That's very,
Mm.
very confident. All right,
Who
but
you playing?
before we
Who you playing tonight?
Everton at home. We beat them.
Everton.
We bring them straight into the relegation fight. So yeah, looking forward to it.
yeah, we're gonna touch on that fixture coming up later. But for the kickoff right off the bat, the big one, the AFCON Champs Senegal. I know a couple of us were watching that game. Silo, you can kick it off from a money perspective. What are your thoughts overall for Senegal actually finally getting it across the line?
Oh man. It's a great occasion for Senegal as a country, guys. I think they made the AFCON final in 2019, and yeah, they've just been one of the best countries in terms of African football as a whole in the last, let's say, 20 years since they came onto the scene. When I say came onto the scene, obviously I think that World Cup in 2002, where they upset the champions France. That's when we kind of saw Senegal on the international stage, and I think since then, and obviously it so happened that the coach of Senegal was the captain of Senegal in 2002 World Cup when they beat France. So he's had a whole journey. He says he's been chasing AFCON since 1999. So he's been chasing AFCON, since obviously the first time he played it in AFCON, and he's finally won it as a coach. And it's a momentous occasion. You saw the fans going crazy in Dakar when they landed, guys. And Sadio Mane has said it as well in terms of this trophy means so much more to him than any medal that he's ever won. And I think it's obviously because we've said it before in terms of players winning for their countries. That personal element, it takes me back to when Messi won Copa America with Argentina finally, the tears that he had and so on and so forth. I think there's just some sort of attachment that you have to winning with your country that you can't take away, and you can't match with your club. Your club, you play every single day trying to chase a trophy, but with your country, you only play a certain amount of times together, and when you actually get that trophy, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And I got a question for the coaching staff of our Goal Lounge team here, Wonga and Nick. Cisse Settles touched on the fact, he's been chasing it for a long time, former player, but key highlights in terms of what he did as an African coach. What does that mean to be an African coach winning the AFCON as opposed to looking out and bringing someone foreign in? Wonga, you give me your thoughts and then Nick can elaborate.
No, look, I mean, I did see something. Cisse was, he's been the coach for what? They said, 8 years.
8 years, yeah.
8 years, and he hasn't been. And if you know, in the other African countries, 8 years and not bringing in a trophy means, definitely year 3 or year 2, probably even year 1, you're gone.
Yeah.
South Africa, we know that, and guys are panicking. And I think the message is kind of sent is that, look, if you believe in what you guys, have, and you back your manager with some sort of plan. I mean, they've also now made the AFCON. It wasn't, I mean, the first final within his period there, So it just sort of like shows that there was some sort of progress in what these guys were doing. I don't know what plan there was before, if they revealed it in some sort, in some way, but definitely there has been a plan, and I mean they've literally been climbing up and up and up throughout those years. So I think the message sent is that Africans can do it. Even Pizzo's been challenging it as well, in terms of saying that why aren't we also getting recognized internationally? I mean, there's many reasons to it, but I think that it's I think one day that they probably will get the international recognition that we deserve. But I think, Senegal has definitely shown that you guys can do it with your homegrown people. You don't need to be going out and getting this the European influence.
Yeah, I think I agree with Wonga to an extent. I would also just sort of be careful with how we sort of judge foreign coaches, because foreign coaches have come to this very tournament and won. The coach Renard, he's like the king of AFCON. He's won 3 titles with 3 different nations. So I do think there is talent here, and I do think it needs to be nurtured. I also think Cisse is from he's played football for his nation before, so he knows what it means and he knows what's required to essentially get the job done. So yes, it is nice to see a local coach, if you want to call it that, on the continent going to get the job done. But there have been very few and far between. Like, if we're going to be very honest, guys, I don't want to downplay the sort of occasion for them. He has been involved in the Senegal setup previously as a player, and he's obviously. I said it in the beginning, guys. This was the best team. On paper, the best team at the Euros by far. Like, I had them down as favourites from the start, and I think not winning it this time around would have maybe been, a little bit underwhelming if they finished second or third. So
that's the question. I suppose that's the question I have, Nick. You say, like, obviously favourites pre-tournament. Even when we're looking in the final, how they've set up against Egypt, the quality of players and the players playing for the clubs that they do play for versus what Egypt had to do. Egypt's tactics were very clear. Keep solid at the back, try and keep a clean sheet, and hope for Salah to do something incredible. And on the day, it got them to penalties. So you could even argue, and I suppose this is going one step further and unpacking Cisse's managerial sort of capabilities, is going, well, what did he do on the day that was enough? I know they went to penalties and that's how they wanted ultimately, but is there something he could have done more on the day? So that's the question. Selo, I don't know what your thoughts there, or Nick, you can touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mane scores in the first, 6-7 minutes there. It changes the complexion of the game. Egypt have to come out. Maybe Senegal score a couple of goals after that, or you might find an Egypt, sort of getting back into the game, and then that sort of pragmatic nature from Egypt sets in. So, listen, when you win, the tournament doesn't lie. The clear favorites ended up winning the tournament for a reason, and credit has to go to them. But Claudio, if you have to look over a longer sort of period, maybe they would have needed to do better. Maybe if you go to a World Cup where there's more teams now, where it might be a little bit more difficult to sort of I actually don't know, is there more teams in this next World Cup? I think it's the one after that, but more difficult competition in terms of the World Cup, that he might be found out. But I mean, we spoke about Jose Mourinho being a tournament coach, probably perfect for an international team like Portugal. I'm very sort of skeptical to judge a coach's credentials based on just winning one trophy, especially when it's a shortened version of a campaign where if you play in a league, you got to win titles over 38 games or 40 games or whatever it is. He might just be a very good tournament coach, and he's proved that now. He did lose the last final, and I think he needed to right his wrongs there. But it will be very interesting to see, firstly, if they can get to the World Cup, because they've got to play Egypt in the next round. And then secondly, how they do in that World Cup, and can they go one step further and maybe make a semi-final. which Ghana couldn't do in 2010.
Yeah, and I suppose when you look at... Oh, go ahead, Wonga, yeah?
No, yeah, for me, it's also the fact, I mean, I think also what plays a factor in them is that Senegal, it's been a team for a long time, you know. I think that also, that's why I say that the fact that they've given him a chance and, you know, they sort of, you know, try and keep everyone together and, you know, we fail now, okay, next year we try to build on that, you know, they build up on that. And I agree with Nick in terms of saying that, you know, yeah, it has been sort of dominated by, you know, the European coaches. But I'm just saying in the sense that, you know, I think it's a way of proving that if other teams want to get close to it or improve in their structures, it can be done. You know, it can be done with what you have at home. I think
I agree, Wonga, and I think what's key here, guys, I spoke about this on the show a couple of weeks ago or during the tournament. The problem with African teams is they've got generations, and their generations generally are quite short. So they'll have I mean, we've seen an Ivory Coast dominate African football, Nigeria, Senegal, we've seen Ghana, we've seen Mali, we've seen Egypt, but there's never ever really you know, a solid 2 or 3 that we know, hey, listen, they're favorites. You know, when notoriously when we used to go watch a World Cup, Brazil were always a favorite, regardless of what sort of form they were in. You know, you had your France, Germany, you know, you've Spain had their period. So I think the biggest task now for Senegal as an association is to ensure this continues, because when Mane is not there and Koota is not there and Mendy is not there, are they going to have a pool of players coming through their ranks? And I think that will be the key to sustain any sort of success, because you don't want success for one year and the next tournament they don't even make it out of the group stages. Look at Algeria in the last round. Look at Ghana in the last in the first round.
To be fair, I mean, you touched on the fact of them being the best team in the tournament, and they had been knocking on the door previously, losing in finals. So they've been thereabouts. And I suppose it's how long this generation comes and the refilling of the gap, and also the comparison between them being at AFCON versus the World Cup. The reason that, I suppose that's the largest sort of African question. The reason they don't tend to do well at the World Cup is because of the legacy of the tournaments. We don't have fixed teams. I mean, Egypt have dominated the AFCON for how many years, but that didn't mean that, it doesn't mean they qualify.
They struggle
to qualify. Yeah, exactly. So when you got a Brazil have been playing the tournament. It's almost like they feel like that tournament belongs to them. So, and the same for Germany, and the same for these other sides. So it feels like they walk into the tournament knowing they can do that. Whereas African sides, they're always questioning themselves. Are they good enough? Aren't they good enough? Despite the fact they've got players like Kalubali and they've got Mane. So I suppose that's the next thing. It's the mental sort of transformation as to, I mean, realistically speaking, with Mendy in goals, Kalubali at the back, Gaya and Kouyaté in the midfield, and Mane up front, who's to say they don't have a chance in terms of at least getting to the semi-finals of the World Cup? Because we all know if you keep a clean sheet, you got a chance, right? So it's just what can they do next? And I suppose, Silo, in terms of your thoughts there, what are the next steps? I know Egypt's, firstly, that's the first obstacle. Do they get past Egypt? And then secondly, if they do get past Egypt, what do you think the expectation should be for the World Cup?
Nah, just to get out of the group stage. I think, in all honesty, I think that's something maybe all the African teams need to first aim for as a first and foremost, to get into the knockout stage. And in the knockout stage, at the end of the day, you like Egypt went to 3 extra times in the knockout stage of this tournament. 2 of the games were actually, I think it's 4 actually, and 3 of them was penalties. You know, so they went to 3 penalty shootouts, literally, and obviously one of the matches they won in extra time against Morocco. So that in itself shows, you know, you can actually be pragmatic and obviously be defensive in group stages, as long as you get, I mean, in the knockout, as long as you get out of the group stages. So all the African teams, obviously it's a tougher challenge to get into the next phase of a World Cup. You know, I think the fact that these 10 teams have to play against each other, and then the 5 get out. You know, Ghana's playing Nigeria. You know, Algeria also has difficult games. You know, these guys should be there probably in their own right, but you know, obviously because of the numbers that will increase in America and in North America when it goes to 2026. Just get to the next phase, guys. Get to the next phase, then you can move forward and then plan ahead. But I think Senegal is definitely a team that we should definitely be looking out for to do better and bigger things. I think they've got the firepower. They've got the guys playing in the right leagues and so on and so forth. You know, I think in AFCON sometimes it doesn't really matter where you play, But I think in the World Cup, it obviously does add, because there you obviously playing against your teammates and your club and your other rivals in the league.
Well, I like the fact that you touch on the teammates. Firstly, shout out Dean van der Merwe, and then also teammates. Salah, gentlemen, not taking the penalty first and choosing to go last. What's everyone's thoughts with regards to that? We know Ronaldo's got a track record of doing that, of which he's been slated for in the past. What do we think about Salah choosing to go last there?
I think it's pathetic. I don't know whose
Number
decision
one.
that is.
Number one, you must take number one.
You go there, you smash that ball in, you set the tone for the rest of the penalty shootout. You know, who's to say he's even going to take a penalty? I don't think he didn't even take one. So, like,
exactly, he didn't.
At the end of the day, you know, you can't rely on that. And if
Claudio,
it was his decision, I'd frown upon that heavily.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with Nick, guys. Like, your best penalty taker needs to set the tone, guys. That, you know, they were taking second, you know, and the chances of you taking a penalty when you're taking second are quite small, you know, because it means that the game could be done by the time it has to be your chance, you know. So I think he should have definitely taken first. I know you look at all the penalty takers from major countries, they take the penalties first, you know what I mean? Okay, cool. Ronaldo didn't in the past, but I've always known that Messi takes the first penalty for Argentina. Yes, he's missed in Copa America once against Chile, but still he took the first penalty. You know what I mean? At least he still had an opportunity to take the penalty. If you don't have the opportunity to take it, then it's wrong, man. I think it would have helped so much for Egypt.
Yeah, what do you think there? Because I mean, now they're going back to training. Also, did anyone see Mane's cheeky little high five to Salah before he got his silver medals? Like, hey, cheers, well done, but what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, look, I'm half and half on it, because I mean, yeah, the first guy can, the best penalty taker can take the first, and he can also take the last. I think you can argue there's equal pressure. I mean, on the two. I think even like Claudio saying Ronaldo takes the last one, but I mean, with Ronaldo's, I mean, you can even see in Ronaldo's case that he believes his teammates will score those first penalties, and he will do what I think most people can argue is the most difficult thing, is putting that last penalty in number 5, especially if your team needs that one in.
Or he wants
that was
glory.
It's that, and but it's a decider as well. If you think about it, he's willing. You can say he wants the glory, and you can say he's also willing to take all the pressure on himself.
The glory,
because you have to, yeah. But if you miss, it's probably gonna be it will be remembered as you missing the penalty. Like now, Salah hasn't taken a penalty, and that's what everyone is complaining about. But he hasn't even taken it. You know, Ronaldo gets there and he takes it, and yeah, you have to put it in to get the team to have you have to put it in to have the glory. You know, it's not that. I don't think it's that simple. It's not that easy as the first one, I would say. I mean, the first one, yeah, you put it in, you set the tone, but everyone carries on still. There's still a chance.
So where would everyone rate Mane's penalty then in terms of
amazing,
stakes, bro, and seeing it and the quality of penalty? In terms of all the penalties you've seen in tournaments and stuff, where would you rate that?
Claudio, what JJ Okocha said is very important. In Africa, we're in such a situation. Your family, you're putting your family at risk. You're putting yourself at risk. You know, because what happens sometimes is that in such situations, Mane misses, right? They lose. They send death threats to your family. They send death threats to yourself.
To be fair, Mane's built a whole school in Senegal. I think if he missed, he would have been all right with it, to be honest.
I'm just saying JJ Okocha was just meaning like how it happens in Africa sometimes, that the pressure
South
is so
America
much
too, Colombia, similar.
You know, they obviously, you know, that whole culture, the football's religion, you know. I think, guys, that was a big penalty. And for him to take that penalty, guys, I think it's definitely one of the greatest penalties, you know, I think I've seen in a penalty shootout. You know, I'm trying to think of another penalty shootout in Africa. That was a big moment. Definitely big moment. Probably one of the biggest in African football.
And in your top 10 in terms of penalties seen with regards to a tournament?
Trying to think which penalty shootouts. Okay, what's this? Nah, man. What? Del
He gets
Piero
caught Celo
Del Piero
off guard, yeah.
Del Piero Grosso took the winning penalty for Italy, was it? I think it was Grosso took the left back, took the winning penalty for Italy. I think that was a great penalty. High pressure situation. I'm trying to think of another penalty. One I always my first penalty shoot I've ever watched, guys, was USA '94 when Roberto Baggio missed the penalty, the deciding penalty against Brazil.
That's
guys.
the first one you ever watched. How old were you then?
No,
How did you watch it?
I watched the recording.
Oh, okay.
I watched the recording, so that was very
So the
sad.
first ever penalty shootout was that one. So surprised you've never.
No,
missed a penalty
international.
shootout.
International.
Okay, all right.
I've watched Kaizer Chiefs. I've watched Kaizer Chiefs win a lot of penalty shootouts against Mamelodi Sundowns, bro. So you know,
throw that one in there.
But also the I don't know if you guys saw because Carragher was saying that Salah didn't take the penalty. People were bringing back the 2006 World Cup penalty that was it 2004 when Carragher missed against Portugal. They are bring back that penalty shootout, guys, to say, hey, isn't this you who missed, type of thing, they're making fun of him, man. But it's time to take a penalty, guys. I can just imagine the pressure that those guys
But even money, like I was shitting bricks for the guy just because of how he was walking up and down prior to that. That's why I wasn't sure if he was going to take. I was like, there's no way this guy's taking just by the way he's walking up and down. I don't know. That was just, where would you rate that, Nick?
I think he's got a lot of balls, especially after missing the first one in the game. I thought it was quite a cool moment when Salah went up to the goalkeeper and was giving him tips. And yeah, I thought that was, but I mean, listen, stepping up at that sort of stage is you got to have big balls. And the whole Senegal team sort of proved that they had that. And yeah, there can only be one winner. It is a lottery. It's a terrible way to lose. It's an incredible way to win. So, I mean, it's why we love football, isn't it?
But also from a goalkeeping standpoint there, Nick, Gabaski's sort of homework that he did on the water bottle, do you think we're going to be seeing that at every major tournament from here on in?
I think a lot of the keepers do it anyway, to be honest with you. I know Pickford has his water bottle. They'll have their tricks up their sleeve. They get a chance to chat to the coach and the video analyst just before the penalty shootout, and they'll know. They'll know. I think a few of the goalkeepers have written, if they've got like a white glove, they write it on their glove, write all the notes on their gloves, and it's interesting. It's an interesting way to look at it. Nice way to end the tournament.
All right, and that's pretty much going to be the topic for the show today. Pumalani, thank you for joining us. We're going to move on to this one. I think it's a very interesting topic. Man United top net spend over the last decade or so. A lot of money spent. We know where they're sitting as a club. We know Newcastle have inherited newfound fortune. We also know, ironically enough, that Arsenal have spent quite a bit of cash too. They're in this list. We've got Man United spending £1.3 billion in this last 10 years or so. Arsenal sitting on fifth with 864 million, which is quite interesting. When we look at the net spend, I think it's net spend of 903 million from Man United. I think second club is Man City. Man City is sitting on
PSG.
That's Man United, Man City, then PSG.
Oh, the PSG. Okay.
Man City have just earned, I think, 600 million, whereas Man United have only earned half of that. So that's where Man City at least balance in the books. But gentlemen, when we're looking at the amount of money Man United has spent, and we look at the flops and the hits and the misses from transfer players, and we're seeing where the current states are of Man United, overall thoughts of this as to how they run the club. I know Cedal speaks about this at length's end, week in, week out, but what do we feel so far about this? I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I'm quite happy. Not the saddest person, yeah.
The thing is, the thing is, Claudia. I think the Man United fans, when all of these things are said, right, you actually realize another layer, right, in terms of the board, in terms of how they buy players, right. So, making an example, right, Declan Rice obviously apparently is going to leave West Ham, right. Man United will go for a Declan Rice, right, and pay £100 million rather than pay £20 million, or let's say 30 million pounds for Oriol Tchouameni, who plays for Monaco in France, right? Up and coming centre mid who's amazing, right? They'll buy Declan Rice because Declan Rice is more marketable. He's gonna sell. He's gonna create a lot of social media hype. He's, there's going to be a lot more interactions. So there's a whole monetary side of things in terms of how you can obviously generate some money off that.
There's an algorithm that they maybe look at.
Yeah, that's signing,
Yeah.
And then you sign a Tchouameni. Tchouameni is not going to create much hype. No hype at all. He comes from France. Doesn't come from like a country maybe that they need to, like, let's say a player came from like China or something like that, that can create hype. They'll rather sign that and spend £100 million as opposed to a £30 million player. So the thinking there at Man United is very wrong. Ralph Rangnick touched on it actually as well, in terms of he took a stab at the board in terms of saying that, listen, you guys haven't won a title for 10 years. That means the people running the club are happy with it. Because you shouldn't be you shouldn't be happy with that. I mean, a club like Man United, who's won so much, should be trying to compete and trying to rectify certain things like that. But yeah, I'm not surprised in such, man. We're very poor at selling players. We've seen that. The only player we've actually probably managed to sell was Lukaku. We sold him for the same price we bought him at. But apart from that, guys, I can't remember a player that we got more money for than we bought the player for.
So that stat there, Claudio, for me, just if you flip the coin on the other side, it just shows you how big of a club Man United are in the same token of them actually not doing much in the last 10 years in terms of winning titles, but that they can and they have the ability to spend that amount of money. So as a commercial brand, I think we all know, like, definitely one of the biggest teams in the world still, regardless of their failures on the pitch. And I think it's there's a fine line that they sort of treading on thin ice, because I'm sure the money is eventually, I don't think it will dry up, but eventually, you're going to have to look at this and say, well, listen, where's the reward for what we're spending here? Because there's nothing.
Last season was the first season Man United actually made less than what they've made in all the other seasons. So it's finally, they've been riding on that commercial sort of success that they've had under the Ferguson era, and it's finally catching up to them, where Man City's outperforming them in terms of performance on the pitch. So that's interesting to see. It's crucial. It's a very crucial time for them right now.
Don't forget, Man United the owners don't spend their own money. Man United spends its own money to buy players, guys. Don't forget that. The owners put nothing into the club. The owners take profits, dividends. Man United buys the money with the revenue that they generate. So they generate so much revenue that they still have enough money to buy players. But the owners are happy because why? They take out dividends.
Yeah, but Celo, what Claudio is saying now, like last year was the first year.
Yeah, obviously it's catching up. It's catching up. Yeah.
So, like, the longer you guys go without a trophy, the more sort of, or the less the profit's going to be.
100%.
The less money you're going to have to actually pay.
Yeah, no.
Do you think if that happens, do you think they'll sell the club, or do you think they'll try and put their own money in to keep it going?
Nah, they would never put money into the club, guys. They would never.
So then they would sell.
Their pockets are not deep enough, guys. They're not even the richest American owners in the Premier League. I think obviously, Kroenke's got more money than them. And I think they would rather sell if they have to dip into their own pockets, because it doesn't make sense for them, honestly. Guys, it's so funny because they will say that they signed a 20 million rand training kit sponsor recently, 20 million a year training sponsor. They'll mention that, because why? That's what they're doing, right? It's a business. It's a business that they're trying to run. And yes, on the commercial side of things, they've done well. But on the football side of things, you don't do well, and that catches up to you, which it has done now last season. Because obviously the revenues you generate from a broadcast perspective in the Champions League, the further you go in the Champions League, the more money you can make. A team that loses the Champions League can actually make more money than the team that wins the Champions League, depending on which country you're from. So an English team losing the Champions League as opposed to, let's say, a German team winning the Champions League, the English team will make more money because the viewership rights money that comes for an English team is more than the German team.
I think even
no, you must look at it, Claudio. You must look at the Champions League. Sometimes what happens, right, is that the guy who wins and the guy who loses, there's no difference in the money. because
Yeah,
of
I mean, there's prize money that where it differentiates, but then the broadcast revenues then split according to how their sort of attendances are made within the tournament. So they make it to the end, then it's split evenly between the two. But I see what you're saying in terms of them having more pool in terms of viewership.
So imagine like a club like Liverpool is pulling more viewers to their games along the Champions League journey as opposed to a Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
and you see, in that sense, like it's the guys that are doing well in the leagues, in the European leagues, are the ones that are going to get supporters from around the world. You know, if you're going to look at a Leeds, I mean, that was the case before, and now they're not there. You're not going to pick many of those guys up unless you're getting word of mouth or something, or your dad is the supporter. You know, so I think imagine United in that case, and it's a slow process. But you don't want to fall in that category. I think Arsenal are getting close to them. People are saying,
what about Arsenal? Because Arsenal are fifth on the list here. It's Man United, Man City, PSG, Barcelona, then Arsenal. Arsenal have spent money, net spend, in terms of £864 million, and then we've got, obviously they've only earned 374, so they've spent a total of £489 million, and they are in the position that they are in. In terms of your situation, Wonga, we know Selos touched on the fact there. I mean, is this not the case of American ownership? Is this not the case, guys, not understanding football, seeing it as a hobby and a passive income for themselves and trying to get it to become a business for them? What are your overall thoughts there, Wonga, as an Arsenal fan?
Look, it could be the case. I think we have similar problems to what Silo has, and ours has been like that for a while. I mean, Wenger was there. Coach, yes, he was winning. Conte, now that he won at the beginning when he was there, and then it came to a point where it was, and I think, but he was always of that mind, Wenger's, that you need to be, yes, you need to be winning cups, but at the same time, it needs to be sustainable, you know. And then that didn't last, and then now obviously he's not the man doing that now, and I think now they're having difficulties even. I mean, we're having difficulties even getting players, and now we're not even winning cups. We're not even in the European. I mean, Twitter did say last season that financially it would be a problem if we didn't make Europa. Pow! And we didn't make it. So what he's basically saying is we're in a problem, and that's why they're selling players like this.
That's why you sold Aubameyang for. Oh, that's why you gave Aubameyang out for free.
I think so.
No, technically it wasn't for free. I mean, they gave Barcelona free.
Yeah, obviously, you balance the books. 29 million in wages minus 7 is 22.
Yeah.
But what I'm basically saying is now, if you look at it, Arsenal's probably further in that stage than Cello, is that we've got a huge base that we've had because of our success in the past, and it's been like that for years, Arsenal, fortunately. But it can, if you're not careful, if you're falling out of top 6, top 8 for a number of years, you'll soon be remembered as, oh, that Arsenal used to be great. Oh, no ways, it couldn't have been. And then you struggle you struggle internationally, and I think that's where these guys want to hit the markets, you know. So yeah.
You know what is quite interesting is Newcastle don't even show up, I think, in the top 100. Of this list. No, but I'm saying after this last window, they're going to climb very, very quickly. That's pretty interesting.
And the funny thing with Newcastle, they'll probably probably need 1 or 2 trophies. And I mean, maybe the Premier League, and then they up there. You're going to see Newcastle just popping up in the streets here.
Wonga, Newcastle, though, you got Guimarães, the new signing, they're already saying that Newcastle's going to be the next empire, or the next big club. And when you've got a player of that caliber, Nick touched on it last week, a player starting or playing for Brazil, coming in, one of the first signings of the club, saying, hey, this is going to be it. You're already going to have more players wanting to go to Newcastle than they want to go to Arsenal, for example. And Arsenal are struggling to put in anywhere right now. Anyone they go in competition with, they're losing. Players don't want to go to Arsenal.
Yeah. We're a textbotbook problem. We must learn from us, guys. Hey.
And if you hear what Bruno said in his interview yesterday, he literally said, we know there's a serious problem, immediate issue that they got to sort out, and that's to stay in the league. But then he literally said in the next year to 2 years, he wants to see Newcastle in the Champions League, and his aim is to win the Champions League with Newcastle. So this is the project that's been sold to him. So now, like you say, Claudio, if that project is sold to in the summer, which is arguably an easier window to work with, you know, you can get that caliber of player in a variety of positions. And who's to say we can't finish in the top 7 next season?
Yeah, that's true. I think it's very possible. And I mean, even look at Champions League I say Champions League is another thing. I think Pep has shown that Champions League is another. It's another thing.
I think it's tough, bro.
Yeah.
It's tough, but let us get there. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look at PSG, but I suppose PSG. What is PSG's ultimate
Man
goal when it
City.
comes to the Champions League? Yeah, Man City.
It's to win.
Yeah, Man City. But I'm
PSG
saying
is to win.
PSG. No, PSG.
Yeah.
Look, both these Arabic sort of owned. I mean, Newcastle's going to be in the same sort of conversation. Both these sides, they want to be winning the Champions League, but they're struggling. We know in terms of Man City, they're fighting on all fronts. You could argue fatigue kicks in. You could argue they tired from the sort of intensity of the games. What is the ultimate downfall of a PSG? Is it the fact that they don't get consistent competition on a weekly basis?
Yeah, but to a point, I think the fact that they got to the final in 2020, they did very well to get to that final. I think that was just they missed a lot of chances in that game.
But wait, that was the one without the fans,
yeah. That one with
and that's another factor.
Manuel Neuer was on form as well. I can remember, I watched Neymar's documentary. Obviously, PSG when they went into, because obviously also League One was done. They didn't continue the French league, right? From they didn't continue after COVID, right? The French league was done. They literally just PSG started the French league of the new season. And that's how they kind of tried to prepare themselves for the Champions League. So they didn't play a previous season, whereas other teams were playing consistently. And I remember Neymar was saying that, no, we said, guys, the French league is done. We only have to play for the Champions League. Let's focus our energies for the Champions League. And that's what they did. They had the belief that they could actually win the tournament, and they got to the final. And then obviously they lost. Last season they got to the semi-final. So PSG is consistently in the conversation, where previously they had the headache of always getting knocked out in the last 16 quarterfinals. That's when they were getting knocked out. And then now they've got over that hurdle. So since they got over that hurdle, they've made the last 2 years in a row. So at least already you can see now they've gotten over that mindset. Now they need to get that one step further, where I think that is just sometimes it's just BMT. I mean, look at Pep. Look at Pep last season, guys. He got to the finals.
It does. But guys, Wonga, you're telling me it's another beast, that Champions League. If my team can just get to the Champions League, I'll be so happy. I've been licking my wounds for too long.
Nick, when was the last time you were in Champions League? Like 99?
2004, I think.
2004.
Okay,
We actually had some very good runs in the Champions League with Sir Bobby Robson. Beaten into Milan.
Titus Bramble, Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
At least you were alive.
Alan Shearer.
Yeah, Kieran Dyer. There were some players. Jermaine Genius.
It wasn't too long ago.
Was Laurent Robert there?
Yeah, he was scoring crackers.
That's one of my favorite Newcastle players of all time, and him and David Ginola. Those are my two favorite.
You're forgetting players. One. You're forgetting the one from Peru. There is it Peru? I think it was
Noberto Solano.
That guy was the best player to hit the ball like that, guys. Outside foot, bro. Outside foot.
He scored like 3 carbon copy goals. I think 1 for Villa and 2 for Newcastle. Exactly the same.
I don't know who's better, him or Quaresma hitting with the outside foot and scoring, guys. Those are the.
Look, Quaresma only ever did it, so I would like to think he's better. I mean, that's all he had in his locker.
But Solano was amazing, guys.
And can I tell you a funny story? He's got a restaurant in Newcastle still. I think he's still he's got a house in Newcastle. Noberto Solano.
Is it?
He's got a restaurant, a Peruvian restaurant. I walked past it. It was closed when I went there, but he's got that in the city centre. It's quite cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right, Jets, before we move on, just with regards to the net spend, and we're talking about the hits and misses from a Man United perspective. Pogba, one of the questions that they put out there in the tabloids, they go through the list. No, because it's just a question. No, we're going to talk. Just take it easy. Just take it easy. The question about Pogba is... Hang on. Just hang on. Just a quick question. They go through the list of players signed, right? They're saying, obviously, hits and misses. I'm not going to go through all the names, but they ended off in this news headline, and they ended off with Pogba. And the question, all they ask, is a hit or a miss. Now, overall, I just want to get everyone's opinion here. Wonga, Nick, Settle, you don't have to go into depth. You can just say hit or miss. What has Pogba been for Man United since he's come back to the club?
I don't know who's better, him or Quaresma hitting with the outside foot and scoring, guys. Those are the
What has Pogba been for Man United since he's come back to the club?
Hit.
Look, I think I would say it hit. You can't say miss because I think it's I think their problems them not winning trophies. We can't put it all on him, and I think he's done all he can, to be honest, and he's done pretty well. In that sense, I'd say hit.
Yeah,
Nick?
I don't think I say he's a hit. I think he's a great player. I think there's bigger problems in Man United than Pogba, and I think the fact that they're having problems with Pogba just shows how deep the problems are at Man United. Just in my opinion, that's no hit at you, Celo, as a Man United fan, but I do think he is a quality player.
No, I agree with you, Nick. I agree with you. I agree with everything that Nick said. I think, guys, you can't have a world-class player and then not build a team around them and not make sure that players a conducive style, a conducive system, playing him in the position that will best suit his qualities. I think too often managers have utilized him in other positions that probably weren't suited, and also pairing him with the wrong players as well. Obviously a player can only do so much. Centre mid, attacks and defense, but it can't stop the errors that Harry Maguire makes. They can't obviously score the goals that a certain player misses. But yeah, I think he's been a hit.
You can't make the slab head turn quicker than milk.
Oof.
All right, Jets. Pums, welcome back. Marcus, hello. And LG, thank you for joining us. We're just going to move on now. The Premier is back. Sedo was touching on this fact. Tonight, big game for Nick Starthard. We got Everton taking on Newcastle. Obviously, Lampard, second game in charge, kicked off with a bang on the weekend, a 4-1 victory. Apparently, Dele Alli and Donny, who has been freed, are seemingly in the lineups tonight. Nick, overall sort of expectation of this game. You've already said they're going to come out with a victory, the necessary 3 points. But what do you think is going to happen here?
Just quickly, am I echoing? I thought
No.
I was echoing. No. I was echoing. Well, my ear I was, but yeah, I was just checking. But with regards to this game, guys, I'm very excited because it's been such a long time since we've played and since we've won. It's actually been quite nice because we were signing players from left, right, and centre, and we weren't losing matches. So it was very new for me as a Newcastle fan. But the fact that we have Everton, I said it on the last show. It's a must win for both teams because Everton's form in the league is terrible. Obviously, they've got the new manager bounce with this win on the weekend, but to be fair, Brentford's form isn't too great either. So I'm not going to read too much into an FA Cup tie. Yes, they'll have Donny in there. They'll have probably Dele Alli, who I don't know too much about in terms of an Everton setup, simply because of how he unveiled himself there at that game. I don't know if you guys saw what he wore, and apparently he's arrived at work in a Rolls Royce, and I don't know if that guy's head is even in football anymore. But I think for me, I look at their signings, and then I look at Newcastle signings, and then I think I'm quite excited because I think we've got a good chance at home. 52,000 Geordies back in the boys, and yeah, it's a must-win for us if we win. 1 point behind Everton, and that just shows you that they are in the thick of it if they lose tonight.
Are you not concerned with the Evertonian seemingly? Look, when Rafa was having his spell that he was having there, obviously led to his sacking. A lot of the players, his key players, were injured. It looks like the timing is right for Everton. New manager, players seemingly fit. It seems like it's to what Sedo's saying. As long as Richarlison's in that starting lineup, there's a big boost for the rest of the players. Is that not a concern for you?
Yeah, it is. Listen, they're a good team. They've got some good players. But I mean, if we also look at the facts, they haven't had all their players out all at the same time. Yes, they have had injuries. Newcastle have had a lot of injuries as well, and that's why we're in the shit that we're in. We speak about Calvert-Lewin as this, incredible striker. He's only scored 1 goal in open play, and that was on the first day of the season.
Hey, Nick, watch out. That could be a future Arsenal striker there, sir. Just watch out.
Arsenal striker. I'd love to say. Are you trying to have a go at me because I don't support Arsenal? But yeah, anyway.
No, I'm just trying to see Wonga's reaction there. I mean, that's the player that they're being linked with at the moment to lead the line.
So yeah, listen. I do think there will be a dangerous assignment. I think Donny will add a bit in that midfield, but they've obviously got fundamental and core problems that they need to get rid of. And I can guarantee you Frank Lampard will not have got rid of all those issues since he's taken over last week. So good luck to them in the next game. I couldn't give a shit about their luck for this game because the Geordies are coming out on top.
Wow, guys! Wow! Yeah, guys, he's straight to the point, eh?
Yeah, he's a fairly confident man. Fairly confident. I mean, it is Dele Ali remark. I know. Before we move over to the Burnley Man United game,
I want to say that about Dele Ali.
Did you hear what the TalkSport Glenn Hoddle? Did you hear what Glenn Hoddle said?
Leave him alone.
Looks like he's just come off the street.
Guys, let him wear what he wants, guys. Please let the guy wear what he wants, guys.
Wow. Here's the thing, though, is the guy can wear whatever he wants, but the issue is he's gone through managers he's gone through managers at Spurs who just stopped. I mean, he fell out eventually with Pochettino. Mourinho came in, he wasn't getting game time. Nuno Espirito Santo came, he wasn't getting game time. Now Conte, these are quality managers who just aren't seeing anything in this guy. And there's clearly something, I mean, Nick's touched on the point, fundamentally wrong here. And now he's done what he's done in terms of going to Everton.
Is there anything wrong with what he wore, guys? Come on. So you can't wear...
It's got nothing to do with what he's wore. I'm just saying, in terms of behavior, though, would you want, like, hypothetically speaking,
so you're saying something...
I'm saying it's a worrying sign.
Behavior.
Wow. Say what?
Guys,
what am I saying?
So you saying what he's wearing is behavior?
No, I'm saying regards to the patterns here, and I'm saying if the guy,
what patterns are you talking about?
When you're being announced to new fans, new crowds, do you dress like the way in which you dress, like you're going to a weekend party, and it's fine. I don't mind if he does it.
He's wearing comfortability. It's his style, guys.
So you can do that. You can do that all day you want. But what you've done now, is you've actually upped the ante. You've actually upped the ante now.
Now you've got to back it up.
You've put more pressure on yourself from a player who hasn't been performing.
What was he wearing?
By doing that, he's put more pressure on himself.
Guys,
am I wrong here? Am I wrong here? Wonga, am I wrong here? Way in there.
Wonga, he's so wrong. Tell him he's wrong.
The thing is this. Look, this is our crew.
He can dress the way he wants to dress, but people are going to be speaking. They've already started speaking, and that's because he's gone the way he's gone, and he hasn't been playing well.
What's wrong with this? What he's wearing? You guys make it seem like he was wearing like some shiny ass suit.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with his wearing. All I'm saying is
the
news have picked up. I'm saying that the news have picked up. I'm not saying,
guys. You must listen to what you're saying.
I'm not personally saying that. What's wrong with you? You're also not listening. I'm saying there's talk. I'm saying there's talk.
No,
I'm saying there's talk in the news. I'm saying there's focus now on this player who hasn't been performing well, right? That's what he's done.
Why is the issue about what he's wearing, guys? Why is the issue about what he's wearing? Because there's nothing that's wrong with what he's wearing. Counter person just wear a jean and an oversized jacket and sneakers and a beanie.
I didn't say that. I'm saying the news is saying there's something wrong with it. I'm saying if I want to come in, if I want to come in there,
Claudio,
you know how the English press is, but you know how the English press is. Do you not know how the English press is? Do you not know how it is?
But that's why it's wrong with the English press.
But it is. It's a reality. It's a reality.
We cannot accept
such rubbish. Is it not a reality? But is it not a reality?
We can't accept rubbish.
So as a player not put pressure on himself.
No, but a player like Dele Ali, that is racial.
While I get my popcorn.
That is racial profiling. That is racial profiling.
How's that racial profiling?
It is from Glenn Hoddle. It is from Glenn Hoddle. I don't want to say this there, but it's from Glenn Hoddle from a point of view. If a white player was wearing the same way as Dele Ali, he would have said 0. I can best believe he would have said 0. A player like Jack Grealish goes out, gets drunk. Nothing is said about him in the media when he gets drunk, right? But a black player, when he gets drunk and they say something about him in the media, I won't stand for that.
This conversation's taken like a different turn.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you, Claudio. I'm saying the English media.
No, I'm not saying me either. Trust me. Believe me. I'm saying no one's denying what you're saying there. There's obviously this has been well documented. This is a well documented fact as to how they treated. All I'm saying is a player who hasn't been performing for his club makes a big move to a new club. Would you not think, considering the fact, everything you've just said,
What's wrong with what he's wearing, guys?
You've just said it.
What he's wearing?
No, but hang on now. Take a step back to exactly what you just said. You literally just said the media does what they do. Right?
But
so if the player is aware of that, if the player is aware of that, right, and he's already not performing well, and he's gone into a situation,
but we can't accept
do you not think
nonsense.
he's putting? But answer this question: Do you not think? Do you not think he's putting unnecessary pressure on himself? Do you not think that?
He's not. Okay. But something is that he's wearing. By wearing a jean and an oversized jacket, and I'm looking at what he's wearing, and a beanie, and he's wearing like a scarf, Everton scarf.
That's fair.
Wonga, look what he's wearing. He was wearing sneakers that with the shoelaces are out.
I saw what he was wearing. I didn't. To be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that there were comments about what he was wearing. When I did see, I saw because they unveiled Donny van der Beek
As well.
and I saw Dele Alli's one. I did
Yeah.
at first glance thought that Dele Alli's wear he looked very relaxed, and I didn't think it was a problem with it. That was in my head like, oh, he's very chilled with it, and I thought in my head he looks like he's floating in his clothes, but it's not like there was a problem with it, but those are just the thoughts that are going through my head. I would lie. I didn't know there was no problem with it. I had no idea there was a problem with it. I just thought, they called him from the stands and, they unveil him and he goes back with it. And that's the end of it. Genuine. I didn't know there was a problem with it. I can't lie to you.
I think,
As they say,
Selo,
this and
the question maybe that if you want to call it the media is asking, like, you've been unveiled for your new club. Would you not want to dress a bit smarter?
That's maybe don't want to say. But
Would you not? Would you not? I don't know.
I don't know how players dress when they get unveiled. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm trying to think who got unveiled recently by
Are
their
you
clubs.
being serious?
But- Huh?
Are you being serious with that right now?
Did you see how Danny Elvis was dressed when he was unveiled in Barcelona?
bruh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing jeans that were rolled up. He was wearing these fancy ass
Yeah, but
sunglasses.
Glasses.
Barcelona. But
And
this is
slops.
context, guys. Barcelona, Catalonian city. It is. You gotta look at what that city stands for. That city stands for. If you look, it's a cultural. If you go there from architecture, everything, they are known to be
So
like
now
that.
must
I'm
be
not,
for culture. So you can't be for ourselves now.
no, I'm just saying you got to expect the backlash. Is what I'm saying. If I can't expect to go to a Mormon church. I can't expect to go to a Mormon church wearing a rockstar outfit and not expecting.
But where did the backlash
That's
come
all I'm
from?
saying.
Where did the backlash come from? From Glenn Hoddle, old school white man.
Yes,
That's
but
where it came
exactly. But that's exactly where it comes from. And unfortunately, the point that's being made here. Look,
I
whether or
don't
not, all
agree.
I'm saying,
I don't agree
no,
with it.
Selo, everyone here is in the same camp as you. Everyone's saying we don't agree.
But
all
we
we saying,
can't.
all
But we
I'm
can't
saying,
say. But we can't defend it because now it seems like you're defending
no one's
it. And
defending it.
No,
No one's
but
defending it.
we
All
must
that's
say-
being said.
we must say Glenn Hoddle, what he said about Dele Alli is wrong or right. You can't say that. No, now you're adding fuel to the fire. It's you can't say that. So it's like saying Paul Pogba posting a picture of himself in Mecca is wrong, and he deserves the backlash for all the people saying stuff about his religion. That's what.
No
You
one's
know what I
saying
mean?
that.
So you're saying Pogba, don't post about your religion. No, that's what you're saying.
No one's saying that.
No. Because you're saying
No one's
listen,
saying that.
sorry. No, you're saying that Dele Alli mustn't wear like that, right?
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying
He must can wear whatever he wants.
No, so you're
I'm
saying
saying he must be savvy enough to know this is going to happen.
Yeah, so Pogba must be savvy enough not to post about his religion.
How are you comparing religion to unveiling on stands? This is blowing my mind. All I'm saying is a player who hasn't been performing. All I'm saying is a player that no one's saying. Look, you saying Glenn Hoddle, old English, what? Fine, fair enough. That's fine. All I'm saying here is.
Yeah.
No, you guys can continue here because Selo's made his point. He's focused on a certain point. All I'm saying is there's clothing that is worn and there isn't worn. That shouldn't be judging a player. All I'm saying is the player now, unfortunately, because of the circumstance and how everything is, has put himself under pressure for a player who hasn't been performing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's tough, eh? It's tough.
Burnley Man United. What do we say about this game?
It's tough. It's tough. Can you even see the comments? Uncle Drew agrees with me. You can even see the comments. But yeah, that's yeah. But it's English. It's English media. But I definitely feel that it's so wrong for them to. It's so wrong for them, not you. It's so wrong for them to highlight his dress code. I can't even believe it's a topic on the show, guys. But yeah, let's move on to the football. Let's move on to the football. Why would I?
Yo, they go. Can talk to you guys. Are welcome to talk about the football.
I don't know I don't know what football we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about.
We were talking about the Man United game that was coming up.
I didn't see that. We're talking about Everton, so I don't know why Everton. You know, I mean, we could have moved on long ago.
Listen,
and
I
left
need
Everton.
I need Burnley to lose tonight. So Celo, please, can you give Ralph a shot there and just make
Hey
sure
man,
that
man, we
3 points.
need to get the 3 points at the end of the day. It's a tough time for after the FA Cup defeat. Yeah, man, we created so many.
Hey, I see
But
Sol Bamba came out of
yeah, man, he had
surviving
cancer.
cancer there, and he
It's a
scored a
cancer.
penalty there.
That's a great story, man. A great story. I think obviously from that point of view, it's quite a heartwarming story. The fact that he obviously took the penalty and scored it, and obviously he just survived cancer, and obviously a stalwart of the English game. But yeah, I think Man United need to obviously convert the chances that they create first and foremost, because we've created so many on Friday that we just didn't convert them. You know, so I think from that point of view, yeah, we should be giving you guys a favor, but also Burnley obviously are in the relegation zone, and as we know, all their players are back. Obviously, Kone played in the weekend. Their new signing
Yeah.
obviously played as well. I saw him a bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's up with signing these tall as lanky players that don't have skill, man? They don't have sauce, man. You know, it's a hey, man. Like that guy, he's you know, he's just like, you know, they just signed another Barnes.
Weghorst.
Yeah, they signed
Weghorst.
another Barnes. You know, they looked better when Jay Rodriguez was on the field.
But are you concerned at all going to Turf Moor? Because it's obviously I think that Sean Dyche was well documented this week, sort of, for the last couple of days, saying that we always make it a very hard sort of assignment for the big teams come into. You know, it's that sort of cliche. Can you do it on a cold night in Stoke? But can you actually do a cold night in Burnley? You know.
Yeah, so Burnley's got the second best defense at home after Man City, so they've only conceded 8 goals. Yes, understandably, they've only played 8 games at home, whereas most of the other teams have played about 10 or 11. They've conceded only 8 goals at home, and City have conceded 6. So they're second best defensive. Second best, 8-8, which is quite good. So I think it is definitely difficult to go to Turf Moor. So let's see what happens. It seems I think they lost in the log, but I think they'll obviously make it difficult for us. But we should be getting it over the line.
Yeah, I think it'll be difficult for Man United. I think. I mean, I've seen there's been a number of them this week, and I've seen bottom teams beating the top teams. But those are, you can say that they're smaller leagues. But I mean, these guys, they need it. Man United is definitely wounded. They're up for the taking, and that's. I mean, Man United in the past, they were never like that. You know, when they put themselves in a position like that, but now you can definitely see it's not. There's something up there. I mean, these guys are not clicking. They're trying to figure it out. Everyone's saying this is the problem, that's the problem, and Burnley probably can use that to their advantage and just focus on, trying to get that point. They probably would want that, and I think it's going to make it very, very, very difficult for Man United. But at the same time, Man United can surprise them and actually start firing on this day and take it. But I think it'll be difficult for them. That's the honest truth. Because Burnley also find themselves in unfamiliar territory, to be honest with you, for quite a while.
Being lost, I guess. I think they haven't moved much. You know, they 3 points from safety, but they've got 3 games in hand on Norwich. And then 2 games in hand on Watford and Newcastle. So so I think if they can get a victory in one of their next 2 games, that will definitely help them and obviously make Nick a bit more nervous.
Please don't make me nervous. More nervous.
It will, bro.
What other games are we talking about? Claudio, talk to us.
We've got
Arsenal men.
Yeah, Arsenal's the last game on the Thursday. We've got, obviously, the Aston Villa versus Leeds is going to be a good one. We've got Man City versus Brentford, but that should be routine playing at home. Then we've got Spurs taking on Southampton, which is tomorrow evening. Spurs looking rejuvenated. But I think from a Liverpool perspective, we're pretty excited to have Luis Diaz making his debut, getting an assist. We've got Harvey Elliott coming back after his injury, scoring his first goal for Liverpool in front of the Kop bench. So that's also quite exciting. So I think, and Thiago coming off the bench making an appearance for the first time since December, or I think it's a bit longer. So it's signs are looking up from a Liverpool perspective in terms of players coming back. Keita coming back. Obviously, Salah's saying he's ready to play for the game against Leicester City on Thursday. Obviously, trying to get
take a break.
Leicester are in
Let's take a
trouble.
break.
Leicester are in a bit of
Yay!
a sticky situation,
Hey, man.
getting hammered in
Bruh.
the derby there against Nottingham Forest.
Did you see my protege James Garner, 20-year-old centre mid, bossing it again, bossed it against Arsenal, bossed it again against now Leicester City.
Yeah, so I mean that's a great result for them. Obviously overshadowed by that fan running on the field from Leicester, smacking a few players there. I don't know if you guys saw that video.
I saw that.
But I mean, yeah, the man ran on the field there and started while Forrest was celebrating. He goes on there and he starts boxing them, bro. Now that guy, he's got a subsequent life ban. But like they were saying, he came off the field laughing, so he's going to lose his job. His family's definitely going to question him in that sense. And yeah, it's just very stupid and petulant. But I think from a Leicester perspective, it shows you how frustrated they are as a team and a club. Brendan Rodgers really hasn't got them firing this season at all. From a team that was challenging for the top 4 for the last 2 seasons, they're not even close to that at the minute. FA Cup holders, by the way, losing at 4-1 to Nottingham Forest is very hectic. So yeah, I do see Liverpool getting through this quite comfortably. And I mean,
Nick, he is questioning the attitude of the players, but I mean, at what point does he take accountability for the performance his players are putting in?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the media are saying now at the moment. The buck stops at him. He needs to sort of answer questions himself. Who gets the players motivated? Who selects the team? Who coaches the team? So you can't always point fingers as a coach. Sometimes you got to put your hands up and say, listen, I made a mistake there, and try and rectify it, because they've got a good squad. Their squad over the last couple of years have been competing in the top end of the league for a consistent period, and it just doesn't seem like they're clicking this year at all.
Yeah, and if you look at it's high. The games are high scoring, but and they sometimes find themselves on the other side of it. There's a lot of inconsistency in Leicester.
Sorry, carry on, Wonga.
I was telling my cousin before they were playing against Nottingham that, I mean, there's no ways that Leicester are going to get out of this with a clean sheet. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, they got hammered. Gee whiz.
And listen, the last time that they actually clicked was against Liverpool at the end of last year.
Yes.
I don't know if you recall that. That was sort of the last time they. Yeah. And so they are capable. They're clearly capable, but something's not right there at the minute.
What happened in the first game, Claudio? Remind me, isn't it that the game that Alisson made a mistake? I'm trying to remember. What happened in the first game?
It was a
1-0 at Leicester.
Yeah, it was.
Salah missed the penalty.
Liverpool just didn't take their chances, and they caught us second half.
Leicester won.
So Liverpool could have scored 3 or 4 on the day.
Yeah.
They should have scored 21
goals.
You
played them twice in 3 days. I think you played them in the quarterfinals of the League Cup as well.
League Cup, okay, yeah. I think I remember that game.
Yeah, so Leicester not looking so good. But Wonga, your turn. Yeah, Wolves versus Arsenal. I mean, technically, Arsenal are still in the running for the top 4 spot. Not doing much in this transfer window. And now playing Wolves, who are looking good at the moment. What? 4 wins out of 5 games, 1 draw.
Yes.
Look,
I think it'll be difficult on Wolves. They can, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they did it against Man City. Did they draw 1-0 with Man City? Or they lost 1-0. But I mean, the matches I've been watching with Wolves of recent, they've made it difficult for teams to score goals against them. And I think it's even more difficult if you don't have strikers. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe Man City don't apply to that. I think we do have players to win the game. I think Arsenal, the difficulty with us will now come if we get injuries again. And then we're going to have to start playing Shaka, we're going to have to start playing Nketiah, and I think then we're going to find ourselves in problems.
Every
When I say
time this
problems-
one also comes out, eh?
What about Obama? Oh, sorry.
Wonga.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you guys loaned out Balogun. Who does Balogun? I didn't realize that he was loaned out. I can't believe that you guys loaned out one of your best young strikers when obviously now you have a shortage of options up front. You know.
Wait, they loaned out Balogun and they kept Nketiah. Ooh, I didn't even know that.
But with Nketiah, yeah, because he was playing for Balogun was playing for Middlesbrough against us on Friday. So Nketiah, obviously his contract is coming up to an end in the summer. So I think they're trying to obviously get some money for him, and they weren't able to get some money for him. So they'd rather just keep him there. And then Lacazette, Lyon are trying to sign him back. The president of Lyon is saying that they're trying to sign him back. So I think obviously you guys will be shopping for a striker. Maybe Claudio can sell you guys Origi. I don't know what Nick has in his closet there at St. James's, but I'm sure there's some guys who's strikers that you guys could take off, type of thing, and keep them warm on your bench rather. There's no space on their benches.
Arsenal's going to be difficult for us. I think now we've definitely made the team. I mean, we've definitely shortened our team sheet. And like I said, if we get injuries or someone's sick, we get a COVID. I think now the Premier League have said you have to have at least 4 cases now, so they put a number to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last time Arsenal had 1 case, they had a game suspended.
It was the same thing.
It was Odegaard.
Liverpool did the same thing.
Yeah.
Liverpool did the same thing. Now listen, then I think if we end up, I mean, the truth is, I don't think we have a team to fit in the top 4. Okay, and if that happens now,
you were saying you were confident of top 4. Now you've changed the tune a little
bit.
Yes,
I didn't know Arsenal were trying to do it without a team. I thought we tried to do it with the team. Okay, now they show definitely they don't want to do it with the team on board. Now that's a different story. I see their plan, and this one, it's not what I thought. So definitely, if they're trying to do that going into the next transfer window, we're gonna finish, let's say 6th, 7th. We don't make Europa again. I don't see it happening. We don't make Europa, and then we're gonna have the same difficulty we had last season, and that's signing a good player. Who's gonna say we're gonna sign the guy? We're gonna say, we'll offer you this much. We're gonna have the same problems we have with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It's just we end up kissing these players and trying to be begging them to come and showing them the plan, and it shouldn't be like that. No, we should be signing players that want to be part of our thing and say, look, you don't want to be our shop, then we go to the next guy. But Arsenal, it's like no one wants to come, so we're always going to end up in that situation, especially now where we're going to finish.
And the guy
it's not one player.
The guy you wanted, Vlahovic, scored on debut for Juventus on Sunday. Already looking good. He could have given you guys a debut goal, against Wolves on Thursday.
Shame, and they were throwing money at that one. They just couldn't get it across the line.
But you see, even with that case, people were saying, like, after them saying, no, we're gonna get someone. They're saying, nah, the guys are working for it. But every time you listen to Vlahovic, I mean, there's not one time you could say that, he was hinting that this is a possibility. My man, he made it clear that no, this is where I want to be, my man. I don't.
Guys,
and Arsenal, chuckled at it.
Bruno literally posted with his PR team a photo in the beginning of his video. It's a news article of Arsenal interested in Bruno, and then at the end he chooses Newcastle, bro. That made my
and
day.
he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
but you see, we Arsenal are that. You see, Selo, we that's the thing we were talking about before, and I think Arsenal, we are that place. We're not even hot or cold. We're just lukewarm, and guys are like, they don't want to even touch that, bro. It's not a place you want to be, They'd rather go to Newcastle where they see, hey, there's a huge potential. Arsenal are I think people are looking at it as a team that's just going down. And I've been, after this transfer window, I mean, they didn't try anything. They let go of a lot of players, but not even one player, not even one. Jeez, we could have signed a goalkeeper, would have been happy. But jeez, okay.
Madness.
So, I don't know.
You got a goalkeeper, man. He's England #1.
Yeah, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Could have signed someone cheapest.
Right. On that note, Selo's got a surprise for someone out there.
Oh yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah,
go to
yeah.
the final thoughts?
Yes. So we had the Super Brew for AFCON. Tightly contested in terms of the number one and the number two. The number one only won by 1.5 points, and the number one. I wish I had his social media handle so we could tag him, but his name on Super Brew is Tumi Bedroom Bully T. So Tumi Bedroom Bully T, well done on winning the AFCON Super Brew officially. Please DM us on the social media handles, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. DM us so we can get your shirt size and deliver your Goal Lounge TV shirt. T's and C's apply.
Oh, with that name, listen. With that name, is it T's and C's that there's only extra large left, guys, or what? But with
We're
that
not
name,
disclosing anything here.
no,
Yeah.
but
Don't
guys,
worry,
with that name, he deserves to win, even if he doesn't finish first.
Tumi Bedroom Bully T.
Bro.
What kind of name is that, man?
Yeah,
Right,
listen,
final
my
thoughts for tonight's show.
Guys, listen, we're going to get back-to-back wins. I'm so excited. I'm holding thumbs. And you'll hear from me on the Discord channel. And if you're not on the Discord channel, make sure you, I don't know how you download it, and then you
It's in the link. It's in the bio
send the
there.
link. The links are there, man. Yeah, join us and discuss. Sorry, I'm not very
You
good
got to
at
give him a tutorial, man. You got to give
It's okay.
What did I say?
He's still new. He's still new, guys. He's still new.
What did I say? I'm like, download that thing.
Yeah, it's in
Love
the
it,
comments.
love it,
In
love
the
it,
in the
love it.
bio of the show, you can
Yeah.
find the Discord.
Join us. You'll
link
find
there.
Vards in there. Marcus, I haven't seen you in there. I've seen Pums in there. I've seen who else have I seen? Okay, I haven't seen Dean in there. LG, you guys need to join the Discord channel, guys. It's in the link.
need
It's
a
in the
bobo.
description in the bio. Uncle Drew as well says join the Discord channel, guys, so we can continue the conversation, watch the games together, banter, throw around a couple of things. Claudia has some hot takes as well sometimes in there. I also have some hot takes as well in there as well. We share all things football related about how Newcastle is going to be the next Blackburn Rovers or something like that, apparently.
Right, Wangadega, final thoughts there?
Yeah, it's only obviously for my team. I think they can do it for a while, but yeah, I think that top four's dead and done. I think we'll need a lot more than that to keep up there. The question is, will you make your
hang on, Wanga. If you're saying dead and done, just before we end off, an open question to everyone here. Dead and done. So Arsenal out of this. So who then finishes top four for you guys?
Man United.
There's Tottenham. There's Wolves. There's
Spurs maybe have a very good
Brighton.
time.
It's Spurs. It's Spurs.
I mean,
it's Spurs or
Look,
Man
the top
United.
four's already there even.
So
Yeah, the
you
top
think
four's already
West
there.
Ham are going to fall away?
Spurs or Man United.
Well, they don't have a centre back now. I doubt they're going to pay Kurt Zuma after his shenanigans today. So, yeah.
Wait,
Sorry,
what?
guys. I had something in my throat, guys. I'm not laughing at what happened with the cat.
I didn't see it. I just read it. And I
Guys,
chuckled
we have-
and I said, what? I
but we have
couldn't
so-
believe
I'm
it.
not laughing, guys.
We have
But
so
also
many
his brother filmed it. Imagine.
guys. We have so many footballer situations here. We've got
Bruh.
a Mason. We've got a Kurt. We've got people hammering Delhi about his outfits. There's so many stories around football. at the moment.
Gylfi Sigurdsson, everyone's forgotten about him. We need to remind people that he's still lurking somewhere.
Oh,
Lurking where?
yeah, he's yo hectic.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
Similar
I've never
to
heard
Greenwood.
anything. Yo, nah, it's hectic.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Yep.
I actually
But
heard a
anyway,
story that
It's not a nice note to be
listen,
ending the show on, guys.
I actually heard a story because we were debating
Yeah.
Kurt Zuma just quickly. But apparently, there's a current Chelsea player. I won't mention his name. Who's actually killed somebody by drinking and driving. And that person was in the car.
What?
Do you want me to mention the name?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I wanna try catch the starting lineups before we go, guys. Starting lineup for Newcastle: Martin Dubravka in goal, Kieran Trippier right back, Fabian Schär right centre back, left centre back Jamal Lascelles, Matt Target left back,
no.
John Giselle, Shelby, Joe Willock, Jolinton in the middle of the field, Ryan Fraser, Alan St. Maximan, and Chris Wood. Bruno Guimaraes, is that I said right, Claudio? Guimaraes on the bench. He won't be getting his debut. So that's the starting lineup for Newcastle. And I'm going to give you the starting lineup for Everton quickly, guys. The starting lineup for Everton is Jordan Pickford, obviously in goal. Then you've got Seamus Coleman, the captain of right bank. Then you've got Townsend, Holgate, Yerry Mina, Will Keane, Andre Gomes, Alan, Damari Gray, Richarlison, and Gordon. Then Donny van de Beek starts on the bench as he did at Man United.
And Dele Alli as well.
No, Dele
Alli
is as well on the bench, together with Al Ghazi, who's come from Aston Villa on loan.
So both teams' new players aren't starting. That's
no new players
only target for us.
Only target, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope we're on target tonight, guys.
And on that note, thank you for joining us this evening. If you're not on target and you don't know what to be
cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.